All right, Colorado's new legislation is drawing big sales for legal marijuana. We're taking a look at the money being raked in from visitors to the state who are traveling long distances to enjoy this new freedom. Matt Brown is co-owner of My 420 Tours. Joining us now to tell us how his company is profiting from marijuana tourism. Matt, welcome to you. All right, so you have this base tour. Your basic tour is this Colorado Cannabis Sampler, right now ranging in price from $1,200 to $1,500 per person. But the early reports are already that demand for marijuana is outstripping supply. So that has to be fantastic news for you. Going to raise the price of that tour?
We might very well have to do that. We've been completely blown away by how much demand there is from responsible adults who want to come have a guided tour package and know that they're going to be able to follow all the rules and have an absolutely incredible vacation experiencing legal marijuana. So hopefully we can see as many people as possible this year. I think there's certainly thousands and thousands of people that just want to come witness what we've done here in Colorado with their own two eyes.
So, Matt, what exactly do the tourists get to see? I mean, do they get to see a grow operation? Do they find out how to grow marijuana, how to roll a joint, and the whole culture that goes with it? Is that what you get as part of the tour?
Absolutely. I see our job is to be able to bring you behind the curtain and really show the inside nuts and bolts of what goes on here in the Colorado cannabis industry. Much like you'd see, Coors Brewery here in Golden, Colorado that has a tour, and it helps people connect with the product. And what we do is bring you in, certainly show behind the scenes of a grow. It looked like you just had a satellite feed from one, which are incredibly, just impressive industrial facilities that blow people away. Certainly touring dispensaries. We have a cooking school that we work with to do private cannabis cooking classes. We have private transportation the entire time. So our goal is from the time you land at the airport until the time that you go back, you never have to set foot behind a car. We don't want people driving while stoned. But we do want to bring them in and act like their friends, show them certainly what laws we do have. It's not like we just vaporized every single law yesterday regarding marijuana, but you got the pun. But what people are fascinated by, and particularly our tourists, are adults who want to come follow the law. And they just want somebody to show them that this is really real, and you can walk down the street with a joint in your pocket, behaving yourself, and you don't have to run the risk of going to jail.
Okay, we totally get that, but what about the people working with you, these marijuana experts? I mean, in a way, are they kind of coming out of the shadows themselves now that this is legal on day one? So who do you have working with you to provide the cooking lessons and the growing lessons? I would imagine they have many, perhaps may have a seedy past, no?
Well, if you're just talking about cannabis, there are a lot of people who do have a past in the cannabis industry. But thankfully, we are a state that has a lot of experts. We've had a regulated industry now for about 4 years, and there are a lot of people who have very deep, specialist skills that they're able to put to use. And what we find is that people who have been hiding, whether they are growers or users or anything like that, the ability for them to come out and not have to hide anymore, to be in the open, and to be able to share with other people who want to experience that same openness, that's really what motivates all of the tour guides and the people that we work with to really love coming and showing off what makes Colorado awesome. And I think what we know here is this is the model that the rest of the world can now visit. And as of yesterday, we are fully open for business for anybody to come, witness it with their own two eyes, see behind the scenes how this works, and then hopefully take it back to their own states.
Fascinating. I mean, there are always going to be the critics to say, look, this is the proverbial gateway drug. Is this type of operation you're operating and the new laws in Colorado and other states, does that put that argument to rest or not?
I mean, I think that argument's probably been factually put to rest for a while. But if you look at the tangible details of what's happening in a place like Colorado, particularly yesterday, that this isn't about the 21-year-olds who really, really love to smoke pot. 21-year-olds can get pot anywhere in the world. It's one of the things that kids are good at. But this is about people who are adults who either don't have a serious enough medical condition that they've ever gone through the process of getting a medical card, or they live in a place with absolutely no marijuana legalization or medical marijuana, and they just want to see this. So this is more about adults who are desperate to follow the rules, who want to come witness a system with rules, than it is, people who are rebels just trying to break all the rules.
So obviously with any new legislation, there are a lot of specifics that have to be ironed out and understood. And one of the big questions with the new marijuana law in Colorado is what constitutes a private space, right? You're only allowed to smoke marijuana in a private space. So if you're conducting a public tour, how does that impact business? I mean, will you have to instruct your tourists, your participants, this is how you do it, now go hide in your hotel room and practice?
Well, I mean, when we're on a tour and we have 50 people together, the open container laws were amended this spring by the state legislature, and so that one is actually very well cleared up. One of the big issues that we're running into now is we've gone so far and added marijuana to the Clean Air Act, open container laws, any number of different laws that we've amended to include marijuana, but by doing so, we now have 609 hotel rooms in the city of Denver that allow any sort of smoking legally, whether it's tobacco or marijuana. Almost 250 of those are at one hotel, and they're all balcony rooms. So, we're opening up that there is this serious question of, where do these responsible adults who are visiting, whether they're on my tour or, they just book a trip and come to Colorado, these are people who are trying to follow the rules, and there is now a question of, other than your own home, where is it that somebody can go to, use cannabis responsibly and not be breaking the rule?
All right, it's a whole new era. Matt Brown, thanks for sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having me.